What's going on, traders? Andrew O'Connell here with Pristine Capital, coming at you with yet another market recap video. It's February 1st, 2022, best day of the month to turn over a new leaf in your trading. Let's talk about the market action. We'll talk about some of my trades for the day. Before we do that, quick first disclaimer, nothing in this video should be construed as investment advice or recommendations. Please follow your own trading plan, your own risk parameters. And last but certainly not least, do not YOLO your entire account into any one of my trades or anyone's trades for that matter. All right, box scores, another good day in the markets. What do you know? S&P 500 finished up 0.68%. We had the NASDAQ QQQ finishing about the same. Small caps were up 1.05%. Dogs of our Dow up 0.81%. And this ARK Innovation ETF, as soon as Jim Cramer stepped in, and he had that, there was this funny YouTube clip where he was like, you pour the SARK over the ARK. And it was like pretty maniacal, pretty crazy. You got to check it out if you haven't seen it. It's on YouTube. He pretty much put the bottom right into ARK. I think in about 3 trading days since that, it's up like over 20%. All of these indices, they closed towards the very top of their daily ranges. So we look good on that front. And we had a huge vol crush. You know, you can see the VIX was down 11.56%. Really big crushes here. And our market breadth finished out the session positive. So we're pretty much looking good on all fronts as of our scorecard here. And our FinViz ETF heat map, or this is actually the individual stocks. This is, looking pretty solid, I would say. Google up 1.73%, AMD up 2.21%. And both of these names reported strong earnings. Let's actually flip over to these names and we'll check out how they are trading live. All right, so let's check out Google first. What? Let's go. Google, check this out. So I'm going to clue you in on a pro tip here. So there is a known edge that when a leading mega cap stock performs a stock split, there's an edge that stock goes up in the next, couple weeks, call it. There's a really high probability edge. Why that happens, I don't know. Maybe it's more people just get excited because the shares are a little bit cheaper. It's not like it changes the valuation of the company, because I know that's the first thing that's going to come out of the naysayer's mouth. The valuation of the company does not change with a stock split, but there is that historical precedent where these companies do very well. So I actually bought some shares of Google after they reported after the bell. I'm already up a couple bucks on those shares. Let's go. All right, so Google, very nice reaction to earnings, and Google just blew it out of the water. Geez, we actually have to pull up these results, and the rest of the video is going to be a little bit shorter just because this is crazy. So Google, let's pull up these results. Bang, bang, bang. So their EPS beat by about $3, which is, it's whatever, pretty good beat. Their sales beat as well. And then take a look at this. And then a 20-for-1 stock split. So yeah, really nice move for Google. And I think a lot of market participants, we've been talking about this, but they'd gotten pretty bearish. And now here they are getting slapped upside the head with some market bullishness. All right, let's take a look at AMD that reported after hours as well. And AMD also beat their earnings. They beat their sales. They guided higher than expected. And look at this in the after hours. AMD got up to this VPOC here, up at $130.19. And yeah, that's up, what is that, like about, just shy of 10% after hours. We'll have to see tomorrow if some sellers, step up to the plate and sell this off. But as of right now, we're looking pretty good. And this translates right over to the S&P 500. S&P 500, we'll take a look at these indices. Really nice 3-day balance team. We've been all over this balance, everyone in the Pristine Capital trading community. I actually sent out a weekend video where we talked about how there was a really nice edge in the beginning of February to take advantage of. I think we've done a really good job of taking advantage of it. Feel free to go over to pristinecapital.net. Go ahead and sign up if you really want to take your trading to the next level and you want to be in a, just a good trading community. Everything is realistic. Nothing is like, let's get rich quick. It's all about just working really hard at the market. And, for all members, I'm pretty much just showing everyone my process, end to end, on a day-to-day basis. So we would love to have you aboard. Come check us out at pristinecapital.net. All right. After that shameless plug, let's jump over to the NASDAQ. Let's take a look. So we have the NASDAQ also pressing up to this 20-day simple moving average. And I think this is where things get very interesting. So let's talk about this real quick. There was this narrative, and it's that the Federal Reserve is going to be hiking rates. They're going to be reducing liquidity from the market, which is 100% true. But at a certain point, when you've just had a market pullback for so long and everyone's short and everyone's on the same side of the trade, suddenly it gets very difficult for the market to have more meaningful downward progress. At this point in time, I would say there's a much more level playing field between the bulls and the bears. And this is the key level here, team. This is the 20-day simple moving average. For a lot of trend following strategies, the 20-day simple moving average is the end all be all. It's the line in the sand as to whether or not to get long. So tomorrow, this is going to be a crazy session. We'll have to see what happens. But yeah, big decision point. If you're in the camp of, hey, this is just a bear market bounce, this is where you would want to be getting short if you think we're going to fail at the 20-day simple moving average. So this is a pivotal level. And it's really interesting. Now everyone's starting to feel really great. They feel awesome about being long, no longer worried. And now is really just that key pivotal moment where we're actually heading into resistance. Russell 2000 also got a nice bounce today. Not quite at that 20-day simple moving average, though. And then our dogs of the Dow. We're up 0.7%. Also pulling right up to that 20-day simple moving average. And let's take a look. We'll pull up our sectors so we can see which areas of the market have been the strongest. Energy. ExxonMobil reported earnings. And take a look at the reaction that ExxonMobil had. These energy names, they've been red hot in a very nice trend, up 6.14%. We also had UPS report earnings and had a very favorable market reaction. This is definitely going to be on my watch list for tomorrow. Really nice power earnings gap set up to potentially take advantage of. All right, let's check out the rest of our sectors. So what else did we have? MSOS, the cannabis ETF, was up almost 8%. Really nice balance for that ETF. Transports are up in large part due to UPS. This mobile payments, financials, really just strength across the board. And it looks like the consumer staples were red, utilities were red, real estate. So all of the most defensive areas of the market that everyone is piling into for safety pretty much sold off today. So that's a good thing. And these style factors, we have the momentum and international momentum. Style factors doing very well. High beta was up almost 2%. So all these risk on areas of the market were rallying, and high div low vol actually sold off a little bit. Seasonality. We were at the beginning of February. We have a nice little seasonal edge here in the market, but it only really goes till the middle of the month. And what's interesting is that we have options expiration on February 18th, and that pretty much coincides with this peak right here. I actually have a vacation scheduled. It is for the 25th of February to March 4th. And I am such a market junkie that I made sure when scheduling that vacation, I'm actually going to Italy with my girlfriend. It's going to be great. I made sure to schedule it during the most weak period of the year seasonally. I remember I traded last February, and I was like, why did I even trade during this weak seasonal period? So yeah, I made sure to book a vacation in February for this year just to really get off the desk. So yeah, seasonality for right now, we have a little edge, and it's the end of the month, not so much. All right, let's take a look at some of my trades for today. It was a pretty good trading day for me. Let's take a look. So I had these SPY puts into the open, and I just bought them because it looked like SPY was a little bit overextended yesterday. Closed those out for a little baby base hit. Closed them out for 13.60. I paid 13.26. And that was pretty much like right on the open at 9.44. There was some economic data coming out at 9.45. We were actually trading a little bit lower into it, so I was like, let me take this off before I get killed over here. So yeah, I took a little base hit there. Closed the rest out about a minute later. And then take a look at this. I took some Apple calls for like a scalp trade. I had been in some Apple calls for a swing, and I actually took them off yesterday. And I took this off for a very small gain, 440. I paid 430. And I took the other half off for 455. It just looked kind of like a dicey trade. And I got long some Alibaba April 14th, 125 calls. Now I'm noticing with these Asian equities, they are taking their time, but they are slowly but surely breaking out of this monthly value area. So I want to make sure this is a group that could really have a very nice move, even if the US market gets a little bit weaker. The Chinese economy has been in a really bad downward spiral, and economists are saying that they might be hitting the nadir of that spiral where things can only look up from here. So yeah, we're getting a little breakout. Things might be inflecting on the economic front. So yeah, I like these Chinese names. Alibaba finished up 1.14%, not too shabby. We're above the 50-day moving average and the 20-day moving average. Right now we're stuck inside of value. I was like, you know what, I'm going to put this on via options. And I made them out to April, so it's not like it's like a really quick trade or anything like that. You can give it some time. Other than that, though, I'm not really heavily concentrated in options for right now. I wanted to make sure that, hey, we're heading into potential resistance. I want to be trafficking in mostly common stock. And I think this is a mistake a lot of traders make, especially options traders. They want to always be in options. And the tough part about that is that when the market goes against you, it's very tough to be in all options. That's where you can end up getting burned. Let's say you have a great run trading options. You run your account up, you're up 30%, but you just continue to roll all your positions and you stay invested in options. Then you have a market correction and you find yourself pretty much right back where you started. So I like to, when I feel the edge is the highest, that's where I really like to use the options. And then as the trend continues, that's where I start to trade more common stock. So I got long these CF common shares at $9.50. I had an alert set here. Got long for $71.30. This ended up being a really nice breakout. So look at that. And this is really just preparation. I had an alert set in this thing from about a week ago. My alert hit and boom, I was right into this thing, ended up breaking out. And here we are, we're trading right back at the highs. And for this setup in particular, we're trading right back at the highs. Could we end up forming like a little handle right here? This looks like a cup setup. Maybe we get a little handle, a couple days of sideways consolidation. Would not mind that, but I did take a target on this position. I just wanted to get something off the books. I took a 20% target later in the day. And where was that? At 73.45. I put here, this market has been so volatile that I just want to lock a piece of this down. So yeah, I closed out 20% of it, still have 80% of it on. I got long CWeb as well. This is the double leveraged China ETF. Got long some Expedia as well. This name has shaken out so many times, but it's finally breaking out. Look at that, nice breakout on the daily chart from this monthly value area. And on the weekly chart, check this thing out. This thing is coiled and ready to go. So yeah, I really like an Expedia here. And then I also got long Vail. Check this out. And yeah, look at this. This is a Brazilian stock. Brazil has actually been gaining a lot of momentum. And one of our members actually brought this one to everyone's attention. So yeah, shout out to Yarrow. That was awesome. And that's really the benefit of trading in a community. There's sometimes I bring up, a stock or sector or whatever, and other people are not looking at it. But everyone can contribute. There's other times where somebody else brings one up, and I'm like, wow, I didn't even notice that one. And, it's a benefit to me as well. So that's really the beauty of working together in a team and really just trying to, do well in the markets together. But yeah, this Vail, nice breakout from the monthly value area, and I wanted to get some sort of exposure to the emerging markets. And so far, this one is looking like a pretty good candidate. All right, so those are my trades for today. Let's go to our VigTech options order flow. With our options races, I know we didn't do it yesterday, so let's do it today. So Today's combined flows. Boom! Tesla. Of course, Tesla leading the way. Oh man. Almost 2 billion in flow. Alright, yeah, we got 2 billion in Tesla. Some Google flow, TQQQ flow, PayPal flow. Let's check this out. We'll go to our Tradescape. Tesla mix of calls and puts. SPXW also a mix. It's not like the bulls are getting carried away, buying call options. We're not really seeing complacency in the put to call ratio. Here you can see, a bit more calls than puts, but still, there are players that remain hedgers. Apple mostly calls. You can see these February 175s. These are for January 2023. What else do we got? Let's see what they did for Google. Yeah, wow, these players, they bought calls and they ended up being right on Google. So heading into tomorrow, we got a lot of things going on. We have the Google stock split. That is something that I'll be watching very closely. Google could end up having a really nice run here. So we have that going for us. And then we have the battle at the 20-day simple moving average team. So tomorrow's going to be an epic day. A lot of fun. Hope you all enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll see you all tomorrow.